The storm had teeth. Elara felt them in every gust that sliced through her thin cloak, ice crystals biting into her skin like tiny knives. 3 weeks of running, 3 weeks since she'd watched her pack burn, her mother's throat torn out by wolves wearing Lord Varen's sigil. 3 weeks of sleeping in hollows and eating frozen bark. All of it led here. A squat stone inn crouched against the mountain, huddled like a beast waiting out the same storm. She shouldered through the door and collided with a wall of black fur and leather. "The room is mine." His voice rolled like distant thunder, aimed at the trembling innkeeper. "I don't share." Elara looked up and up. He towered over her, broad-shouldered, scarred, silver threaded through black hair framing a face built for violence. But it was his eyes that stole her breath, pale gray, ancient, hungry. The mate bond struck, not heat, but a cold electric certainty that made her stomach lurch with dread, and something worse, recognition. As if her wolf had known him forever and hated the delay. The stranger's nostrils flared, his gaze snapped to hers, pupils narrowing. The innkeeper flinched back without being touched, shoulders rounding in instinctive submission. "Well," the stranger said, voice low and rough-edged, "the night just grew interesting." Behind them the storm screamed louder, sealing them inside together. Elara kept the knife under her pillow, the blade kissing her palm. The room was small. His scent filled it. Pine, steel, old snow. Kael took the floor without comment, his cloak spread beneath him like spilled ink. His breathing stayed too even, too deliberate. She couldn't read his rank. No pressure rolled off him, yet the innkeeper had practically bowed when he spoke. She hated how awareness prickled her skin whenever he shifted. Not desire, more like standing too close to lightning, waiting for it to strike. "You watch me like I'm the monster," he said into the dark. "Maybe you are." A soft huff, almost amusement. "And yet here you are, sharing air with me." "I had no choice." Choices are luxury. He rolled onto his side, facing her. Moonlight carved the scars on his cheek. "What's chasing you, little wolf?" She didn't answer. Instead, she studied how shadows clung to him, how the firelight seemed to bend away. Something tightened in her chest, not a pull, but pressure, like the air itself recognized him. Dawn came gray and thin. He rose first. When he passed the innkeeper in the hall, the man dropped to one knee without a word. Kael didn't acknowledge it. Elara's pulse kicked hard. They would leave separately, or not at all. Elara jolted awake, her mother's blood on her hands again, Varen's sigil burning in her vision. Kael was there instantly. His weight pinned her shoulders, not cruel, just immovable. The contact sparked clarity instead of fire. Every scar on his knuckles, every line of tension in his jaw, all of it suddenly sharp, known. She stopped fighting. He eased off. He rebuilt the fire in silence, then pressed a steaming mug into her hands. "Drink." She did. The warmth anchored her. "I saw his mark," she said quietly, "on the wolves that killed them." His expression shuddered. "Varen's reach is long." They sat in the glow, trading fragments. She gave him nothing real. He offered the same. Yet when their eyes met, the bond didn't roar. It settled. Quiet, watchful, like a blade laid across both their throats. He leaned closer. She didn't retreat. Their mouths met, slow this time, tasting of grief and salt. When she pulled back, his gaze was unreadable. "This doesn't mean trust," she said. "No," he agreed. "It means complication." Outside, the wind clawed at the shutters. The blizzard broke at dawn. Kael spoke first. The wolves wearing Varen's sigil murdered your pack. I'm tracking the same bastards. Ride with me. 2 sets of eyes see more. She weighed survival against suspicion, then nodded once. The trail was ice and stone. She moved light, testing him. He countered every feint with economy that bordered on art. When she slipped on black ice, his hand shot out, steadying her without lingering. The land itself seemed to lean toward him. Birds quieted, the wind dropped. They found the village. Charred timbers, fresh graves, Varen's sigil carved into every door. And there, etched above a child's bed, a faint spiral, the bloodweaver mark. Kael went still, the air thickened around him. "What is that symbol?" she demanded. He exhaled. "Proof they aren't stealing territory, they're erasing a lineage, yours." He met her gaze. "And you need to understand why before I tell you who you're really traveling with." Howls rose, closer than yesterday. Silver arrows hissed past her ear. They fought shoulder to shoulder, blood steaming on snow. More shadows poured from the trees. They camped in the ruins, fire kept low. Kael spoke plainly. "I am Kael Draven, Alpha King." The words settled heavy. "My bloodline weakens, 6 centuries ending unless a bloodweaver gives willingly. Forced blood kills the giver and poisons the receiver. The Crimson Court, Varen, my cousin Sereth, has hunted your kind for a decade to guarantee my fall. You're likely the last." Revulsion coiled in Elara's gut. The bond turned sour, like metal on her tongue. "You scented it the moment I walked in." "I suspected," he said. "I didn't know you were mine." His voice cracked. "I won't beg. I won't take." She stormed into the snow. Hours later she returned, jaw set. "I'm not agreeing, but I'm not dying alone either." Dawn brought ambush, more wolves, better armed. Her blood heated. She slashed her wrist, letting droplets strike his blade. Power flared. They cut through the pack. His shoulder bled black from silver. She pressed the wound closed. "If you die now, I'll hate you forever." He managed a crooked smile. Motivation noted. The ravine looked like a wound in the mountain. Bodies, bloodweavers stacked in careful rows. Children, elders. Elara found her grandmother's bracelet frozen to bone. Grief cracked her open. Varen's pack hit from above, silver everywhere. Elara's blood answered, instinct not choice. She pressed both palms to Kael's chest. Strength surged through him like lightning. They were unstoppable. Still, a poisoned blade found his side. In the cave, fever took him fast. She cleaned the wound, whispering, "Someone should have warned us, protected us." His eyes fluttered. "I didn't know you were alive. If I had, I would have razed kingdoms to reach you." She held his hand as howls circled closer. Healing was slow. They moved toward the stronghold. Then Sereth appeared, silk cloak, silver smile, 50 wolves at her back. "Cousin," she purred, "and the prize herself." Her gaze lingered on Elara, assessing, almost fond. "You could do worse than my protection, girl. Varen is crude. I would be gentler." Sereth dangled the truth. 3 bloodweavers still alive, experimented on, breathing. Elara pretended to listen. That night they carved their way out, guards dead, horses stolen. Riding hard, Elara said, "We're getting them." Kael's voice was stone. "No army has breached that fortress." "Then we'll write history," pursuit horns answered. Allies were few, Brennan and a dozen loyalists. Elara's plan was simple, brutal. Amplify Kael, breach to date, extract the captives, kill Varen. The assault bled them. She pushed until her vision swam, her heart skipping beats. Gates fell. 2 bloodweavers were rescued. 1 died whispering gratitude. Varen waited, warped by stolen blood, veins slick and black. He offered a trade, her life for the crown. Kael refused. The duel was savage. Elara cut her palm and pressed it to Kael's wound. Pure power flooded him. Varen died screaming. Elara collapsed, her pulse thready. Darkness held her for 3 days. Ancestors whispered, "Her blood binds, it does not drain." She woke to Kael, hollow-eyed, sleepless. "I ordered them," he said softly. "If you died, no ritual, let my line end." "Why?" "Because I love you, not what you can give." She kissed him, deliberate, chosen. The rescued siblings clung to her. She swore they would never be used again. A scout arrived, breathless. "Sereth escaped. She has the relic." 2 months later, the ritual was mutual. Blood and bond entwined. Power shared. Elara stood as queen, silencing challengers with presence alone. On the battlements, Kael took her hand. "We'll find every hidden weaver, build something unbreakable." A rider galloped in hard. "Sereth is rallying. The relic is active. It's twisting bonds. Your own guard turned on each other at dawn. 2 mates already dead." Elara's felt their bond flicker once, uncertain. Kael's grip bruised. "If she corrupts us..." Elara's eyes burned. "Then we end her before she ends everything." The kingdom waited. The war had only begun.